When it comes to color grading, context is king. What's more important than that is making eye-catching images. That will never change. That is our primary job. I specifically picked this shot to have level playing field. If this was done in a studio, then the look would have been determined by the studio lighting. That said, let's give this shot some context. So this is a clip from a music video. It actually is from a music video that I graded. So if you're interested, link is going to be in the description. You can check it out. Now, let me introduce you to my 3 quick principles when grading music videos. Number 1, more is more. Number 2, never play safe. Number 3, take risks. Now, if that sounds extreme, it's because it is. That's what you need if you want to be a music video colorist. Now, let's take this bland shot and make it bold. So we're inside Resolve now, and here's the shot we're working with. Filmed on Alexa in 60 frames a second. Beautiful cinematic shot, but again, it's kind of bland. We have to do something to make it pop. I've already gone ahead and created a very simple node tree structure built around 9 nodes. Input device transform, output device transform, sandwich that we got going on here. I'm not going to go in the detail or just redo it because it becomes repetitive. I've done it in so many videos in the past, so just check out any of the videos before this one and you'll know what's happening here. Or more importantly, if you want to actually understand what's happening under the hood, then check out the free workshop or the paid course. Links are in the description. So what's happening here is I'm taking Alexa and converting it to DaVinci Wide Gamut. So we get to work in DaVinci Wide Gamut, which is a really wide color space. And then on the output end, I'm taking that DaVinci Wide Gamut and then I'm converting it to Rec 709 so it looks proper when we see it on the web. Okay, so that's what's happening here. It looks really well balanced to me. So this is my primaries node, or let's just call it balance node. But to me, it's looking pretty good. Let's look at the vector scope. Like, what constitutes pretty good? When we look at our vector scope, and if everything is sitting somewhere in the middle, that means it's pretty solid. The balance of your image is pretty good. If I were to take this, go under my global offset, and everything was sitting somewhere around here, you can obviously see that it's not necessarily in the middle. Everything is leaning toward that quadrant, like that warm quadrant, and it doesn't look proper. Okay, so we'll just reset that. So this is a good starting point. Now, the next step is I'm going to look at this. Obviously, we already established the context. This is for a music video. What do you think of when you think of like music videos? Usually they're really pushed, very gritty, over the top, crazy, right? Because that's just what it is. And then if you want to compete in that realm, in that world, you have to respect the game, right? This is how it's played. So you have to do a similar thing, but with your own flair. So this music video is shot in Morocco. So all of a sudden I start thinking about like warm tones, right? And warm tones are always welcoming and they're always well received. So that is good. This is all going in our favor. So for my base grade, I want to kind of really drive the image into that warm world and then balance it out a little bit. Like, so my anchors are proper, like my black points. So without over explaining, let's just jump in and try it out, like what I'm talking about. And this is helpful because this is what I'm thinking when I'm working on projects professionally, right? So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to take my gain and I'm going to be like, I want to add a lot of warmth here. Okay, so I want to go for it, something like that. I am really liking what's happening here now, what started to happen here. This is like really nice Middle East warm. I like that. I really do. I even like the overall image kind of living there, but let's just kind of not be as crazy. So I'm going to take my lift and I'm going to kind of contrast the warmth that I'm adding. And I'm also focusing on my skin. And I just want to make sure the skin tones are looking good, right? So like if I hover over here, yeah, the overall skin tones are leaning a little bit toward that warmth that we created. And that's 100% fine. Because if I were to just extract the skin tones now and just pull them and make them proper so they land on that skin indicator, it's not going to look realistic. So I'm kind of liking the difference that we made. I kind of like how everything is kind of breathing, but it doesn't have the pop. It doesn't have the authority that I want my look to have. So I'm going to call this curve. We're going to go create a custom curve here using our S curve right in here. And what I'm going to do is lift it up just a tiny bit and then create another point like down here and kind of pull it in, something like that. Create another point up here, raise it up like that. And then there's going to be another point right around here, something like this. And then constantly think about that pop, the music video pop. Okay, things are always kissing the edge. They're just sitting there where the footage is about to pop, and then you pull it back. And that's what's happening with this. Okay, so this we thought was pretty good, especially when we go to our Rec 709. So this is our Rec 709, just a simple Rec 709 conversion. Going from here to here, we created a vibe. Like we're in Middle East, we're doing something now. Like this is fun, right? And then just by a simple custom curve right before your eyes, we got this beautiful pop without losing any detail on the low end. The shadow detail is there. The highlight detail is there. We can see it in our scopes. This is important, guys. Some of you probably think like, okay, most of these tutorials are more the same. That's not the way to ever approach color grading, because if I were to just take you, let's just say, if we go to shotdeck.com here, and if I just type in daylight exteriors, look at how many different types of daylights are here. Cold daylight, eternal sunshine of the spotlight or spotless mind, a whole different type of daylight, right? Here's a daylight from her, right? Exteriors, completely different. So that's why you're not gonna get here if you've never gone there, if you haven't tried it. And you're not gonna get there if you haven't tried that. So the context is gonna drive where we wanna go, but it's not just like, oh, I know what I need to do, now I can just magically do it. You can't. There's a right and wrong way to do it, right? Like, I mean, if you just get too granular, one of the mistakes that a lot of the beginners make is that they underutilize this right here. Look at this. That's it. Boom, boom, that's it. There's no weird things happening. There's no color warper action, HSL tools, or OFX being used, and people overcomplicate their grades because they think if it's Hollywood, it needs to be something different that we can't touch and feel, right? Out of this world. And I'm here to tell you that you will be surprised when you listen to somebody like Jill Bogdanovich, who's a senior colorist at Company 3, and she's like, majority of my looks, the base grade, the majority of the essence, the DNA of my looks comes from lift gamma gain. It's mind-blowing, but it's true. She's not holding anything back. She's just giving it to you. You don't want to take it. And I'm here to execute it and kind of put it in practice and show you the impact that these simple tools can make once you have a vision and then you know how to get there. Okay, so we're not done yet. The curve did quite a bit for us, right? That pop is pretty good. We can make it more, we can make it less. Let's just leave it where it is for now. Another thing that I'm going to do now is we're going to start shaping some light, because I feel like there is automatically some cool stuff happening here, but we can make it better. Okay, so I want to control the light and put the focus on our character, but I'm going to do it in a broad way. Okay, so let's just call this face if we need something for the face, but I don't think we do, because again, we lit our exposure, we set up our image for our hero, for our actor, and then everything else is secondary. That's another very important thing. People grade for the environment. I'm talking about beginners, and then they go and create 10 windows on the face and try to pull the highlights down, things like that. No, create your grade around your subject, around your hero, around your product. Let everything else be the secondary. And now we're just going to call this vignette, basically relighting. And all I want to do here is I'm going to go under my windows and I'm going to create a circular window, right? Like that. And we're just gonna give it a shape like this. And let's make this smaller so you guys can see what's going on. Let's rotate this. Let's make this like that. Make it bigger. Rotate it a little bit more. I'm gonna do Shift H so we can see what's happening. And I'm gonna move it over. So let's just pan it, right? Shift H again so we can see like what we're grabbing, something like that. Make it bigger and then rotate it a little bit more, make it bigger a little bit more, tilt it over, and now I'm just going to add crazy amount of softness. So basically softening is happening right here. I'm going to do something like that around this. And that now what we want to do is we want to invert it. So I want to make changes outside of here. So I'm going to just hit invert. It's inverted. And now let's just keep it simple. I'm going to go under my gamma and I want to pull it down. How far do we want to go with it, right? It's like realistic, but still dreamy, right? Realistic, but still dreamy. I still want to kind of like always go too far, pull it back. Where can we park it where it just doesn't look fake, but at the same time is believable because we're basically taking what's in the image and enhancing on that. There's already shadows in these areas. So let's just maximize it. Look at the difference that it's making. Okay. Now what I want to do is another great tool for our actors and especially actresses is if you want to beautify and just like really make them pop, use glow. Great tool, especially for music videos. It just creates like this, you know, we're in a dream world. And it does a great job with that. So we're going to set it to soft light and it kind of throws everything off. That's okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go under my shine threshold. I'm going to open it up and it's going to do something like that. And it's kind of extreme. So I'm going to, we're going to be okay. So right now it's looking kind of crazy. So what we need to do is we need to go under our gain. We need to pull it down and then go under our gamma and pull it up, right? So like you can see under her eyes starts to look really good. And then constantly go under gamma and lift it up, go under gain and kind of pull it down. I'm going to keep it somewhere around here. I'm going to go under spread and I'm going to see what we need to do to kind of make it less jarring. And then another thing we can do is we can go under global blend and we can pull it back a little bit, right? So I'm just going to keep it somewhere around 3/4. And then under saturation, we can dial it back just a touch. We already have a pretty good amount of saturation going on, so we don't have to overdo it, right? So what happens if we completely take it out? Not bad. Let's pull it in a little bit. I don't mind it. Somewhere around here. That's not bad at all, okay? One more thing under my look that I can do is I can go under my midtone detail, pull it back again, just doing things around our actor. Right? We just want to make sure that she looks flawless. She looks perfect. She looks great. So this is where we're at right now. This is what we got going on. The shot looks absolutely stunning. Right here, let's just call this glow. So this is basically beautifying our actor. And it does a good job, right? It does a good job. I would personally leave it in, but it's totally up to you. Now, what can we do? Can we kind of play on the colors in the image and try to create a little bit more color contrast? So I can go under my lift again and try to pull it down. And I'm kind of looking right here and I kind of like that it's just creating like a fun kind of teal. Is it too much? If it is, I can just pull it back and kind of keep it somewhere around here. So there's still a little bit of that going on here. We can see it, but it's very, very subtle. Overall looks great. I'm kind of going back and forth on the glow, to be honest, because I feel like it makes the contrast a bit much for me. So in that case, we're gonna go back in there and we're just gonna kind of raise the gamma, pull down the gain. Okay, that's sort of like a happy medium. right? So you got to play with these tools to like really understand what's happening. I feel like Glow does a really good job to like kind of grab the colors and just wrap them around and give a lot of weight to the image. So this is excellent. Your grade will never be fully completed without texture. And if you, that's like the cherry on top that goes a very long way. Nothing wrong with the digital look. As a matter of fact, if you're working on commercials, you will be asked to create a very clean porcelain-like images, and there's nothing wrong with it. But with music videos, majority of the time, you'll be just asked to add some grit, some character, some texture to your image. And we're gonna use Resolve Zone halation tool to accomplish that. And when you first drop it on, it looks like really weird, which is absolutely fine, no problem. All we have to do is this. I'm gonna open it up in my effects, and I'm basically going to drop back the threshold. Okay, so just look at it. I'm really tightening the threshold here. So this is better than before, but still kind of extreme. Now what we have to do is just go under strength and kind of pull it back, right? So something like this. And that, for me, does the trick. Another thing that we can do, let's just say we go back on the strength, right? So like we dial it back a little bit, but we don't go too far. The spread, we can kind of make it tight. Something like this, okay? So again, now if we go here and look at this, it's very realistic, yet like it just has like a really nice, strong effect to it. And then finally, I will go under basic grain and just turn on append grain internally. And it's very, very heavy handed. So if you look at it, like you see like how crazy it is. So let's go ahead and basically split the difference on all of these. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the strength and I'm going to bring it down to about half. And that's been like my general practice with this tool. And then the size, I'm going to, again, split it in half. So 0.25-ish. And then we'll just completely kill the saturation. We don't need it. We just need like a monochromatic grain. And then this will do it. Okay. One more thing we can do in our look node is this. We can always go under hue versus hue right here. And this is where our skin tones sit, right? So we can even click right here and grab it. And then we can just basically go move it up and down and kind of see, do we have to add a little bit more warmth? Do we have to pull it down? And I feel like here, I like it a little bit more. Like when I raised it up just a tiny bit and just gave it a bit more of like red tones than like the yellow that it was picking up, but it's not too much at all. So I love it. One last thing that I would like to do is just kind of go under our global saturation and kind of pull it back, just like really light hand and pull it back. And it's like a really beautiful grade with like a lot of class, like think Queen's Gambit, like even something like this, right? Like if I were to just have this as my final grade, it has such a beautiful look without really screaming. And we're at somewhere around 43, right? So if I reset this, nothing wrong with that, but I feel like this just has like so much more class. And again, that Queen's Gambit, that film-like colors, if you will, that we get here. And I personally really prefer that. So another thing that we can do to kind of give it film density, color density, if you will, is go under hue versus luminance. And we can just click right here in this area and we can pull that down a little bit. Not too much, but even like a couple of notches, like about 3 notches. And we can do the same thing with our reds. So we can just grab this right here, this area, and we can kind of pull this down, but we can go far with that. Something like that, right? So like 4 notches and leave it right there. And then another little tool you can use to just have even more of a granular control over your footage is that, let's just say if you're looking at this and it's just looking a little too on the green side, like the overall vibe that we created, but we don't want to make a global change. We just want to kind of get in there, grab our midtones and kind of bring them out of this that we created, you can go under your log wheels in your midtones and just literally do this, like just pull it back a little bit, okay? So if I do before and after, it is so subtle, and I think it does the right thing even when it comes to our dress. Like I'm looking at her dress and I'm going, this is all looking very good, right? Like, so just look at what I did. I barely did anything. If I do before and then after, before and after. So I feel like it's a pretty welcome change that I will leave it in. And again, guys, like this is our Rec 709. That's our log. And this is what we were able to create. Just look at this, right? The two looks so different. And let me just get rid of this. And it's a grade, you know? That's what the difference is between just sticking with what comes out of the camera, bland, and then we make it bold. By adding texture and knowing exactly where we want to end up and what it's going to do. Just look at how how good her skin tones look and how much they pop. Again, you can go back in there and kind of mess with the saturation level. So I can still go in there and kind of pull it back. Obviously, we can always go too far and then kind of bring it back. And if we just are going for a overall really nice look and still want to keep some of the film characteristics, we don't have to crank the saturation too much. If we're going for the digital thing, we can take the saturation back to where it was. But personally, I just feel like this really does the trick. And these are the little nuances. But you see, we start broad and then we narrow in and we start like honing and massaging our footage until we get something like this. Now, if you're fairly new to color grading and this kind of got you excited, then I have a very structured workshop that you can check it out. It's absolutely free. Link is in the description. If you enjoyed this content, do me a favor, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more awesomeness. I will see you guys in the next video.